So I want to talk today about the topic we have all been avoiding, periods. Once upon a time, women with their monthly flow were greeted with feelings of euphoria and grace, glowing with an Edward from Twilight-like hue, smelling of blooming roses and jasmine flowers. Men were entranced by her ambiance. Even the animals flocked to her. They sung with her songs like, "Let it go, let it go." Just kidding. Truthfully, periods remain to be one of the most taboo topics known to man. Does anyone know what a rag bag is? No. Well, rag bags were, bags of rags that women used and washed in the 1800s. So, is your period marvelous? Let's see a raise of hands. Raise your hand up if you yourself has period pain or you know someone who does. Okay, look around the room, you guys. We've got a lot of people raising their hand. Wait, now keep your hand up if you would describe your period as marvelous. All right, let's look around now. You rock! Got just a couple of people in here. Okay, so I am here today because I am extremely passionate about the topic of period pain. You see, my periods have always been dreadful. For me, it was worse than any sickness I have ever been through. This pain had me rolling around in bed, sweating profusely from head to toe, pale as a ghost. I was nauseous. Some of you might not understand this type of pain that I'm describing, but women with endometriosal pain, some of them say it's even worse than breaking a bone. I've never had a broken bone, so I can't tell you that. Well, it's really hard when you're going through this level of pain, and there's people who might think that you're exaggerating or even faking it. And frustratingly, the research and the treatment options available from Western medicine left me feeling like my fertility was at risk, with no options other than surgery. Thank God I had Night to educate me on this topic, helping me avoid surgery, really enhancing my reproductive health, and helping me work on my way to a marvelous menstruation. So my mission here today is to inspire just one of you. If I can inspire just one of you here today, then my mission has been achieved. So thank you all for being here at the first annual Night Speaks conference. This is so incredible, right? These speakers are all so amazing. How about a round of applause for these awesome speakers? I am enormously grateful for the incredible opportunities and the knowledge that Night has brought into my life. The friends and the relationships I've met here have been some of the most meaningful that I have in my life. I feel so thankful for following in the footsteps of my parents, who are also holistic practitioners, and they really understand the hard work that me and my fellow students put in. Thankfully, my family and friends have always really encouraged me on this path to become a naturopathic doctor. And finally, my wonderful fiance, Gavin, you're the best promoter and partner I could ever ask for, and I love sharing this health journey together. I don't want to forget to mention God, because he's been my rock through every obstacle and joy that I've experienced in my life, and I just love sharing the testimony of how the Lord continues to change my life. So thank you. Now, I want you all to meet my special friend here. He's here for support. This is Carrot. He's a huge Lions fan. Do we have any other Lions fans here? All right, so can everybody say hi, Carrot?
Hi, Carrot.
Oh, he may be a little shy. This is definitely the biggest introduction I've done to him. Carrot, it's okay. These are the night stars I've been telling you about. Go ahead. Hi, night stars! So thank you for being here, Carrot. So I want to present to you a problem. It's period pain. Tampon sales are $1 billion industry. In 2018, they were $3.65 billion, increasing to almost $4.72 billion in 2024. And the average revenue made per person during their period is also on the rise. $11 in 2018 raising to almost $14 here in 2024. And in addition to the significant amount of money made by the tampon companies, the volume of tampons needed to support a woman during her time is also on the rise. We see here from this chart that women need 0.5 kilograms of tampons in 2018, increasing to 0.6 in 2024. So clearly the period industry isn't lacking the financial capital to best support us women during this time. But somehow we still find ourselves in this position, begging, what could I do to relieve this pain? And it just seems like the tampon companies are asking themselves, how can I make more money? Now, I'm not trying to blame the tampon companies. However, I do believe they should be doing their due diligence when it comes to the research regarding how their products affect our reproductive health. I think we should address the men in the room who might be feeling a little bit shy on this topic. But men, before you leave the period chat, I would like you to know that your role here is also important. You see, men don't share the sacred blessing of a period, no. However, I'm sure you all have some woman in your life. You have a mom, a sister, a friend, a coworker, employee even, someone who menstruates, and they should not be in pain. Though over half the population experiences periods themselves, it's still a super taboo topic to talk about. And this silence makes us women feel less empowered and more alone. Now men, you can't fix our pain. However, you can help us by advocating for our reproductive health. You can acknowledge our pain and suffering and encourage us with the time and space to pursue our health journey on our terms. All right, so let's look at some study comparison. Endometriosis is a debilitating, widespread concern affecting almost 10% of women of reproductive age. In 2020, only 1% of healthcare research invested in female reproductive studies beyond cancer. Erectile dysfunction, however, among other male reproductive concerns, have been widely researched for many years. The total number of research documents just on erectile dysfunction alone, published between 1971 and 2021, were well over 16,000. Funding for businesses aimed on erectile dysfunction were 6 times higher than funding for endometriosis years 2019 to 2024. About 80% of women experience period pain at some point in their life. For 5 to 15% of those women, that pain is so debilitating that it interferes with their daily activities. This was me, friends. And the average age for the start of menstruation is 12 years old, and that age keeps getting younger and younger, with some women having their periods as young as 7 or 8 years old. So, have you guys seen the big rave on TikTok about toxic tampons? Well, women are concerned about the toxic ingredients that can be found in their feminine products. So tampons can contain trace amounts of toxic metals such as lead, arsenic, and cadmium. They have PFAS, which are known as forever chemicals, because they stay in your body and the environment. These forever chemicals are endocrine disruptors. They can affect your hormones, energy, metabolism, and even stress. Phthalates, also known as plasticizers, and VOCs, or volatile organic compounds, can also cause endocrine disruption. The International Agency for Research on Cancer has classified titanium dioxide as possibly carcinogenic to humans. This is based on studies that showed increased lung tumors in rats when inhaling titanium dioxide. Furthermore, the European Food Safety Authority suggests that titanium dioxide nanoparticles can accumulate in your body over time, causing genetic damage, nervous system dysfunction, a weakened immune system, cancer, and even other health problems. Pesticides are often sprayed on the cotton fields that are used to make our tampons. Xenoestrogens in Roundup, aka glyphosate, are synthetic chemicals that mimic estrogen, and they interfere with our body's natural hormones. They can also make your period flow heavier, you guys. Tampons may even contain carcinogens like styrene and chloroform. So experts say that there are usually only trace amounts of toxic ingredients in menstrual products. They say more research must be done to determine if the toxins can leach out of those tampons and affect our health. They say we don't know whether or not your body can absorb these tampons or toxins from your tampons during use. Well, you know what I say? Bull. I hear a lot of you are laughing, but I'm sure there are some of you there who are in a state of shock. And I agree that this is blatant ignorance. And women, are we going to continue to stand by putting our fertility at risk simply because there isn't enough research interest? No. So, we're going to save ourselves by reducing the exposure to tampons and those toxins in the tampons and products. We can do so by choosing organic products that are free of chemicals, plastics, colorants, and fragrances. Ask the companies about their manufacturing process and their ingredients to make sure that you can make an informed choice. Furthermore, you may wish to inquire with the company about their knowledge of these harmful ingredients and their effect on your reproductive health to make sure that they have your best interest in mind. Now ladies, we've got some great options. Of course, we got the toxic period tampons and pads, or the non-toxic, I should say. There's a Diva cup, which is super easy to use. You just bend it in half like that and insert it up. Or you could try a party in my pants. Well, I actually have a party in my pants right now. So here's your modern rag bag, ladies. You can wash and reuse this. It doesn't smell. It actually soaks up extremely well, and they're non-toxic. So you can get those from partyinmypants.com. And implement those natural remedies. Now, at the beginning of this talk, I mentioned I came here with a mission. Was I successful?
Yes.
All right, thank you. And thank you, Garrett. And thank you, Garrett, for being my emotional support. Thank you.